Yeah, hi guys, very short video here about the damage which we had on our home after Hurricane Milton. I've prepared very long videos about all the details, but since we have still no internet back after more than a week, and I heard it will take another 2 weeks till our internet will be restored, so 3 weeks in total, absolutely crazy. So I have to work on mobile data, and so I want to keep my videos very short, so I want to make this also very quick here. As you can see here, our pool cage is in perfect condition after a storm, or almost perfect condition. We have some very small damages at some screens in the corner. I don't know if I have recorded that, maybe I can show you that, but almost no damage on our screen meshes, which we have renewed about 2 or 3 months ago for a lot of money. So I've been worried, but they held up really good. Maybe also because we have been selecting the very fine mesh, the no-seam mesh. You can see some damage of the trees, of course, here. Banana tree probably lost. Then we had some problems with both of the doors. They opened during the storm and closed just with the wind, even though they were fully locked, and so there was some damage on both of the locks and also on the opening and closing mechanism, but I've been able to fix that at least more or less. Yeah, here banana tree a little bit closer. Now here you can see the other side how it looked. So this shock absorber here, which was here in between, it was ripped out, and this part here totally bent, but I've been able to fix it. I mean, it's still bent, but it works. Yeah, here's the part, and you can see a lot of branches, of course, which we got for free from our neighbor's large tree. I've boarded up all the windows, and all the wood has been staying in place. I've been using hurricane clips on most of the windows, and on the larger ones I've been using large screws into the concrete or into the drywalls outside. But the wood is not in perfect condition anymore. A lot of these pieces are not designed for outside, they are not protected, and so is a lot of water. They have been suffering and they are bent a little bit, but I think we can still use them. I can see a huge difference with some plywood, which is water protected, only 1/2 inch thick, and these sheets are not protected but 3/4 inch thick, and the plywood, which is only 1/2 inch thick but protected, is holding up much better than the thicker wood, which is unprotected. Something to consider. Here you can see a lot of branches, but not too crazy. I think they didn't hit anything on our side. On top we have some roof damage on the shed. I think it's not possible to see that here, maybe a little bit. I will have to invest quite some work here to repair, to add shingles, but I think it's still waterproof. But maybe about 10 or 15 shingles are missing here on the top. They have been ripped out. And then some damage here around the window. I mean, it was not in good condition anyway anymore, but it has been definitely suffering even more during the hurricane. Then one thing which was ripped apart, that's a part of the gutter. You can see the part laying here. Maybe I can show you where it belongs. Yeah, that came from up there and usually goes down here. Something here in between was just ripped out. But other than that, I didn't see any damage on the roof. The neighbor's roof had quite some damage. I mean, also not crazy, but just here in the front, the whole part was ripped off. Also another crazy thing, that this palm tree was still standing. I mean, it's a huge thing, probably 50 feet high. And it's still absolutely straight, but not so much our palm tree. You can see part here laying on the ground. I can show you that later. That was our biggest problem. Yeah, also something which I wanted to let you know. If you have such a fence, when you know a storm is coming, then remove the tops, otherwise they will be blown away. Here you can see the shed from the front. I've been securing it with some wood and nothing has happened. That's great. I've also been securing the gates here I left them open, secured them with sandbags, protected here a little bit. And so that was the better solution than closing these gates. In the last hurricane we had closed them and we were really fearing that they would break. Now much better with the open gates, even though our neighbor did same thing and it flew away. Now here you can see our palm tree. Pretty large palm tree was blown down, including the roots. Yeah, here you can see that. Yeah, also neighbor's gate. Here you can see she had the gate open, secured with these pavers, really super heavy paver stones, but that was not enough. The 150 kilometer strong wind, which was blowing for around 6 to 8 hours, it closed the gate and blew a part of the gate off. Then here the palm tree and how it's blocking now neighbor's driveway. It missed the mailbox just by inches, or it hit it slightly, but it's still standing, but definitely blocking the whole driveway. So the neighbor hired a company to remove it. I tried to cut it with my saw, but it didn't work. Yeah, pretty crazy here that the whole thing was just ripped out. Then a little bit of damage from our neighbors. You can see they have also some damage on their fences. Bismarck palm tree still standing but not straight. Yeah, here you can see that leaning a little bit to the right side. All the branches from the left side have been bent to the right side. Here on this side more or less everything intact. There was no damage on our infrastructure, which made me really happy. We also left the gate open here. We protected the door here with some tape, which prevented water from entering. But on the other side, there was quite some damage to the paint of the door. I wouldn't do that again. Next time I would apply here also some wood. Yeah, after removing the tape, we had damage everywhere. Yeah, this cover here was ripped off. It flew away. I don't know if this was causing then some damage to our roof. You can see now this cover is laying here. You can also see that the wires are still here. Power cable and internet, but for some reason we lost internet, and so even when power was restored after 3 days we didn't have internet. I don't know what's happening. I think it has nothing to do with this box. It must be some other thing. I mean, on the tree down there was a huge branch of the foxtail tree hanging on the internet cable for quite a while till I cut it off. Maybe this has caused some damage. Other than that, we didn't have a lot of damage here. Maybe we can show the roof. Did I record that? Yeah, here you can see that there's quite a dent in the roof from underneath. I couldn't find anything which was blown into that, so my impression is that the pressure from the wind was so strong that it was pushing this thing up and then breaking. I mean, there is some damage here, some cracks. I've been able to pull it down a little bit, but there are still some cracks. And at some point these panels have to be removed, of course. Also same thing on the main door. I applied some tape, which was not a good thing. I mean, it prevented water from entering, which was a good thing. And if you are preparing for a hurricane, you are expecting high winds and a lot of rain from this side where you have a door. Make sure that you apply something that water is not entering, but don't use a tape like here because it has really removed a lot of paint after removing the tape. So better to add a plywood, but of course make sure that you still have one exit left in case of a fire or other emergency. Some people say it's not recommended to block some doors, especially if you're close to trees or so, which could fall down on your home. As I would say, that was it regarding our damage. Of course, we have some smaller stuff, but I think there is not much more. So we have been actually super happy. I've been expecting that our pool cage would be damaged heavily or even torn down totally. Maybe even major damage to the roof over our home because it's a really old structure, but luckily that didn't happen. Again, there's some damage in our neighborhood. To this side, not so much, but when you go down to the other side, about 200 or 300 yards, there is a huge tree which was ripped out and then fall down onto the roof of a home. As far as I know, the roof was not punctured, but it looks absolutely terrible. It's almost impossible to see the home because of the huge tree lying on the roof. My wife has made some pictures. If I'm able to get them, I will add this to this video, of course. But other than that, no major damage in our neighborhood. We have been super happy. We really had some super strong winds, again up to 100 miles or around 150 kilometers. We had also absolutely incredible rain of more than 18 inches in just one day, which is almost half a meter, usually the amount which we get in half a year. That's absolutely crazy. Yeah, I would say that's it for now. I hope I've been able to show you some interesting stuff. If you have any questions or comments or want to share your own experience during Hurricane Milton, then just write everything down into the feedback area. I'm always happy to talk about these things, and if you like the video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe my channel. Thanks for watching. See you next time.